Hello and welcome. Look, before I do anything else, I need to make a couple of corrections to my previous video on the Hyper Urban. In the first instance, I had said that I did not measure the stock steel handlebar width. Well, that's not strictly speaking true. I had simply forgotten about it. And that distance is 615 millimeters. Secondly, I said that I had purchased it for $148. Also, not strictly speaking true. I bought it for $174. It was the Hyper SpinFit that was $148. I apologize for any confusion. Now that that's out of the way, here's another video for the Hyper Urban. I typically try not to do the same bike 2 weeks in a row. I like to mix things up, keep it a little bit interesting. But I'm making an exception in this instance because this bike has impressed me so much this past couple of weeks. To recap very briefly, I'm dealing with chronic back pain, particularly when I'm riding bikes. And I am getting that squared away, I hope, in a couple of weeks. Be that as it may, this bike has just been a lifesaver for me. I guess it's a combination of a relatively upright riding position and a fairly short reach. In other words, I'm not leaning forward a great deal on it. That's because I had put a shorter stem on it. At least that's my theory. At any rate, I have found this bike to be so good, I decided it was worthy of being upgraded. Now, it already comes with a modular 1x drivetrain, and it has a removable derailleur hanger, which is quite unusual for an entry-level bike. My personal theory is that Hyper probably decontented this bike in order to meet Wal-Mart's price point. Just a guess on my part, I have nothing to back that up. So anyways, I have this really sweet set of vintage Mavic MA40 wheels with Suntour hubs. I bought them a couple of winters ago from a fella who rebuilt them. And I mean, he completely rebuilt them. He even put new spokes in it, the whole 9 yards. And these things, you spin them and they just go on and on and on and on and on. Well, you get the idea. I also had a pair of Continental Ultrasports with 1 season on them. So I took the Mavics off the SpinFit, and I know, doesn't the poor old thing look forlorn at the moment? But it gets better for it. So anyways, I took the Mavics and I put the Contis on it, and I put them on the Urban. And my goodness, what a difference. Now, most of what follows is going to be fairly self-explanatory, so I won't provide a great deal of commentary on that. All in all, this project went pretty well. I like it when things work the way they're supposed to. I know, I'm picky, but what can I tell you? Kidding aside, these Mavics with the Suntour hubs and the Continental Ultrasports, man, that is a great combination. I'm running Ultrasports on a couple of my other road bikes, and I really like them. Regarding the overall feel of the bike, it's a little bit faster. In fact, I picked up 1 mile per hour on a downhill section of a route in my neighborhood, and it just feels more nimble. Now, I suspect part of that is because there's less rotational mass. Specifically, the stock tires and wheels weighed 2,705 grams front and 2,758 grams rear. Now, the Mavic and Continental combos weigh 1,527 grams front and 2,207 grams rear. That's basically a net reduction of 1,099 grams. Now, I am far from being a weight weenie, but that is a pretty significant difference, and you can feel it. I think the next thing I'm going to do for this bike is look into getting a sealed square taper hub to replace the square taper cup and cone bearings. And then I think she's going to be pretty well set for a while. No, I misspeak. I also want to see about getting a smaller tooth chain ring. I measured it out and it's 110 BCD, so it shouldn't be too hard to find something that's smaller than 40 tooth. 40 teeth? Anyway. And finally, I did not forget about the poor old D-wheeled SpinFit 700C. What I did was I took the stock wheels and tires from the Hyper Urban and put onto the Hyper SpinFit. And the ironic thing is, these are the same model wheels and tires that came stock on the SpinFit. So the poor old thing has gone in a great big circle over the past couple of years. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. There's a link below left to the Hyper Urban's playlist, and there's a link below right to something else that I think you would like. And as always, thanks so much for watching. Seriously, I appreciate that every time you do. Goodbye, and have a great day.